Here we are in the kitchen with our precious Arlene, and we're going to be making something special today.
We are, and this is the day that the Lord hath made, and we choose to rejoice no matter what's going on, right?
Amen.
Because it's important.
That's
As
right.
long as the Father's still on the throne, we can make it through the day. Just a little uplift today. I thought you might need it. But this is the last program. We'll be doing our Jewish type foods because we've been doing this the whole month, and this is dessert. And you know, we have you making something with dates because dates is a really big, delicious dessert in anywhere, but especially in the Jewish household. But they like to take them, and we split them, take the seed out, and these are called medjool, M-E-D-J-O-O-L, dates, and they are very prominent in Israel. And then we have some goat cheese. And all you're going to do, you don't have to cut it clear through, just like that, make a little pocket, and then just stuff it with some of that, just enough to make it, there you go, make it nice, smooth on the top, Okay, and then they're going to bake in the oven for about 10 minutes, that's all, 375 for 10 minutes. So you want to use a platter or a pan that has sides in case some juice comes out of them. And that's just a nice treat. You could have that on a buffet, you could have that as a dessert. And it's healthy, it's good.
They are healthy
and
they're sweet.
Dates are wonderful. The dates date back very, very long ago. Anyway.
They're very dated dates.
They're dated dates, yes. Okay. Moving along, I'm going to make what they call the Jewish dessert of a Jewish Kugel. And if you know anything about, it's called a noodle pudding, but it's called Kugel, K-U-G-E-L. And what we've done is taken just about 12 ounces of our egg noodles, and we boiled them, not clear completely, but about 5 minutes, just like the al dente, so they're not really, really soft. And then I have a couple of eggs here. And this is one of those go-to desserts. Everybody really likes it. I tasted this a long time ago. This has some sugar in it. And we're just going to mix that around. And what we want to do while these are still warm, you're going to mix the egg and the sugar really well to combine it, just like that. Okay, because this is going to go on the noodles, and the heat of the noodles is going to soften this, and it's going to permeate all the noodles and make it really, really tasty. And as you can see, when you use a whisk, you need to be able to get all those goodies out of there. How are we doing over there, girlfriend?
We're doing well.
We're doing
Got the
well.
last one done. So instead of like ants on a log, I don't know what we could call these. They're cute. They would be a great treat for kids.
Stuffed dates, that would probably be appropriate, huh? Stuffed dates.
Yeah, we got to come up with a fun name if you're going to serve them to kids, you know?
Oh, okay. Yeah, they do like
I haven't thought of it yet.
Yeah. But you know, on this last day when we're talking about Israel, it's just, can we always remember that they are the apple of God's eye? And can we just continue, even whatever's happening in the world, we need to keep them on our prayer list. It's very important. And, you know, as long as we as a nation line up with Israel, we're going to be okay. But, you know, I'm just so thankful that that's such a rich land. And I remember my dad would always tell me, could you put that over there? Every time he went there, he said, Arlene, I feel like I've gone home. He wasn't born there, but there's something about the land that just beckons you as a Christian because you know the miracles, the miraculous that happened there. And it's the flavor of God. That's his city, so that's important to always remember that. Okay, now we're going to add some fresh apples right in there and some raisins, not too many, 1/4 of a cup to 1/3, whatever, and some freshly chopped almonds. You liking this already?
I am.
Me too. And some cinnamon, because that's the flavor that you're going to get the whiff of before you taste it. And now we're just going to mix it well. You have to see, you can see how the eggs and all of that are starting to melt because of the noodles. And we just keep mixing, mixing. We have like an 8-inch square pan that we want to butter it. Okay, make it cover it well because we don't want this to stick to it as it cooks. And we're continuing to blend and blend. Blending is a big part of it. Now, we'd probably do that a little bit more if we had time, but now we have our egg whites. Remember, I just used the yolks when I was preparing the other part, but now I'm going to use the whites. Okay. And you want these to a stiff peak. There's no liquid in the bottom. And that's, you're just going to add that into, you say, well, Arlene, why would you do that? Why don't you just throw the eggs in? Because this seems like it would be heavy because you have the noodles and all of that in there. But these, you'll be amazed at how this will lighten up. Just having them, they have to be really dry. You want them very dry, stiff peaks. And we're going to put this in a 350-degree oven. We're going to bake it for about 30-35 minutes. And when we come back, when we have our taste test, you're going to see it's a dessert everybody likes. So we're just going to pour this in here, and what else are we going to do?
Great. Well, I was just thinking, what are we going to do? We're going to throw to a break.
And we'll be right back in just a minute.
Michelle, won't you come over here with us? We normally don't do this, but since you are the chairwoman of the board, we thought you could join us for our taste of some of Arlene's creation. We just got a minute, so divide it up there. Terry or Arlene, give it.
Sure.
Yeah, let's
Go
ahead,
I
Michelle.
want to try the
Get
date.
another fork.
That's
Okay,
really
here
what I
you
want to
try
try.
the
I have had
There you
Kugel
go.
before. I've had it in Israel.
Kugel.
And it is very, very good. Yes, and my in-laws
There
make
you are, my
this.
dear.
Oh, Arlene, these are
Yeah,
excellent.
bite of
I
it.
just
They
want
good?
to take a little bite.
Are you having a bite? Oh, you have the date.
Dates.
Is it
I
good?
taste the
Terry and
apple.
I usually go on a date.
Is
Once
it
in a
good?
now.
had dates
Were
before.
there, did you ever one of these things? Arlene, it's very good. How is it? Good?
Very good.
Very good. Well, we're glad that we'll be able to share some food with our
Absolutely.
brothers and sisters and
Absolutely.
the Lord. And you know, we're going to come back in just a minute. And that interview with Eric about ISIS, I think it's a very important interview. We're going to pray specifically about that when we come back. But before we do that, let's see what's going to come up on tomorrow's
Real life.